Hey, you, how's it going? How are you? Welcome to this, your Monday edition of the show. Yeah, your Monday, your new day of your new week, your clean slate, your fresh start, a chance for you and I to move forward together into whatever it is that happens next. A chance for you to kick an entirely new week directly where it counts. You're doing awesome. Hang in there. You got this. You are a badass. And if you need something, if there's anything I can do for you to make your Monday better, hit me up. I am here with you. I'm here for you. At ADSXE. It's where you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at ADSXE. Put it in your phone now in case you need it later. So it is a new day of a new week. And for me, it's a very different start to the week than I've had in an awfully long time. Because for the first time in 17 years, I am not on your radio. If you're listening to this, you probably know that my time on your radio, at least the radio stations that I've been on for the last several years, starting with 94.5 The Buzz in Houston 17 years ago, has come to an end. And, well, there's a couple things. First and foremost, I wanted to say thank you. I wanted to say thank you first to someone who really has become my family, Teresa, who made the announcement on the air that I would no longer be on the radio station. Teresa and I started together 17 years ago on The Buzz. She was way ahead of me at the time. I was a weekend overnight guy who was lucky to be there, and she was kicking ass and taking names in the midday slot on 94.5 The Buzz. But we started all those years ago together. And, well, for many years, we've been the 1-2 punch in middays and afternoons on radio stations all over the country. She's my family. I love her. And she was the one that made the announcement that I wouldn't be on the air. Now, initially, that might not sound that great to you. I mean, I've been on this radio station for 17 years and built this family. There's no two ways about it. We throw that word family around a lot, especially with The Buzz, with the city of Houston, with the people that listen to that radio station. But it's real. It's real to us. All of us have been there for 17 years. It's a weird thing. It's a fluke thing. That station is, I guess, what they call in the radio industry a heritage station with heritage personalities. Rod Ryan, the morning guy, Teresa, me, Carolee, we all somehow started 17 years ago, and we'd all been there ever since until, well, last week when I stopped being a part of that radio station. And after having built that family for 17 years, I thought, wouldn't it be great if I got to say goodbye in my own way? That's what I thought. That's what I initially wanted. And it just didn't work out that way. I got to be honest with you. I was disappointed it didn't work out that way. But I understand. These things happen. And so it fell to Teresa to make the announcement. And I'm so glad it did, because she gave me the best send-off anyone could ever hope to have. It was so much more than I ever could have imagined it would be. It was one of the coolest, realest, most loving things that's ever happened to me. Not just from Teresa, from the entire station, and then from you. From you. The person that we've been, the person I've been sharing these conversations with, the person that I've been sharing my days with for the last 17 years. For the last 17 years, we shared music and laughs and conversations. And Teresa, you, everybody that works at The Buzz in Houston, and everybody that listens, you took something that really, quite frankly, could have sucked. It could have been a painful, awful thing. And it was a heart-wrenching thing. It was a difficult thing. But what Teresa said and what you did afterwards, the way you reached out to me, you took what could have been one of the worst moments, one of the most difficult moments of my life, and you turned it to something that I'll get to keep and treasure forever. And I wanted to say thank you. So thank you. I love you. That really, really, really meant a lot. And it meant a lot during a time when I've needed it. Life took a really strange turn about a month ago. I'm doing this from a hospital room in Macedonia. For the last month, I've been in Kosovo and Macedonia. My father's lived in Kosovo for the last 15 years. I know it's a strange place to settle. Whenever people said why, here's the thing. My dad has always been kind of a world-traveling 007 kind of guy. He moved out here to work for the United Nations about 15 years ago. Loved it, loved the people, kind of used it as his home base as he did little pieces of legal work. My dad's a lawyer that specializes in Eastern European law, and kind of loved his life out here. But he had a medical emergency about a month ago. It was the perfect storm of a whole bunch of things that, well, that was almost it. And the moment I found out it happened, I was on a plane to bring him back. A trip that initially doctors said, I remember being on the phone to him saying, okay, I'm getting on a plane to bring my father back. How long do you think I'm going to be there for? They're like, he'll be ready to fly in 3 or 4 days. It's been a month now. I think I'm in the home stretch. I think. He's just about stable enough to where I can get him on a plane and hopefully get him home to America to be closer to his family, to receive the more comprehensive treatment that the doctors here say that he needs. I hope to be able to do this in time for Christmas. It's not the kind of family Christmas get-together you picture, but that's my goal. I don't know if it'll happen. I know this last month has just been an exercise in putting one foot in front of the other and doing my absolute best. And hoping things work out. And so that's what I'm doing. But, well, I got to tell you, my time at the radio station coming to an end while I'm halfway around the world looking after my father as he clings to life in a Kosovo hospital room, that could have been awful. I'm going to tell you now, spending a month in a hospital in Kosovo, 0 out of 10, would not recommend. The people are fantastic. They are wonderful and giving and just really, really cool in a way that I didn't know until I got here. I understand exactly what it was my father liked about living out here, having been here for a little bit. But the whole experience, not a good one. It's been an adventure for the last month. My dad's life has always been an adventure. And for the last month, he brought me along for the ride. It's been an adventure, just not the fun kind. And so, yeah, I'll say it. Everything has pretty much freaking sucked for the last month. It has been just agonizingly difficult every step of the way. And my time on the radio station coming to the end could have just been awful. But it wasn't. Teresa and everybody I work with, and then you, turned it into something beautiful and special that I get to keep for the rest of my life. So I wanted to talk to you and I wanted to say thank you. And I love you. And I'll always be here for you. I'll always be here with you. It won't be in the same way, but I'll always be here. And I'd figured when I got home to America, I would do a podcast. I'll tell you why I wanted to do a podcast. It's not just because I'm a radio personality without a job right now. It's because, well, like I said, the last month has not been easy. It's not been fun. And these conversations you and I have, they get me through. I am so happy that people have said to me so many times that they love listening to the show because it's positive, it's uplifting, because I managed to brighten their day. That's all I ever wanted to do. What made radio magical to me was it gave me a chance to keep you company and to try and leave the world a little bit better than I find it every day by, well, giving you a reason to smile and laugh, sharing music and laughs and conversations, and maybe turning something unpleasant, a grind of a day on the job, being stuck in traffic on the way home, maybe turn something like that into something that you could enjoy, maybe even look forward to. It was the most unbelievably cool thing when people would say to me, you know what, I make sure I'm in the car when you go on the air because I want to hear you. It picks me up. Radio is magical to me because, well, I'm not that social of a guy. I love people. I love going out. I love a good time, but I'm not one of those people that's driven to go out and, be with other folks. I'm perfectly happy at home. Maybe even a little introverted some of the time. But radio, going back to when I was a kid, always kept me company when I needed it. I spent a lot of time on my own. And it gave me all of those things, a reason to laugh, a reason to smile. It told me interesting things about the music that I loved, and it gave me a sense that I was connected to the world even when I was alone in my room. And I loved it, and I loved that, and that was a magical part of radio, and that was magical to me, being able to get on the air and share those things with you. And it meant so much to me to hear people say, I love listening to your show because you're positive, you're uplifting, you make me feel better, you make me feel like things are going to be all right. That's amazing because that's what radio always did for me. But what you might not realize is I get just as much out of lifting you up as you do, if you felt that way listening to my show. There's a great song, it's one of my favorite songs, and I think this is a big part of the reason that it stood the test of time. There's a song by Gorillaz called Feel Good Inc. And if you talk to Damon, lead singer of Gorillaz and of course Blur, he will tell you that it's a song that contains a secret to happiness. Damon will tell you it's a song about the fact that so many people look for happiness in the wrong place. They look for it in money or a party or drugs or alcohol or power or whatever they think is going to make them happy. And he said, really, if you want to be happy, the best thing you can do is to try and make somebody else happy first. If you can pick somebody up when they need to be picked up, well, it's going to go a long way to turning your own frown upside down. So in a way, trying to be positive, trying to be uplifting, trying to make you feel better as you went through your day is a little self-serving, because when I would hear that that's what I was doing, it would put a smile on my face. It would make me feel good. And I got to be honest with you. Like I said, the last week has not been easy and it has not been fun. And I need a reason to smile right now. So I thought I would go home, wait till the dust settled, then start the podcast. And I was like, no, that's wrong. I need to keep these conversations going because they're what make me feel good. They're these conversations that you and I have been having for the last 17 years, they get me through. They're what's given me a reason to smile. And I need something to smile about at the moment. So I decided I would talk to you right now, today, as soon as I possibly could. I thought to myself, hey, my phone has a microphone in it. I could probably do something with that. I have no idea what the sound quality is going to be like on this. It'll get better. I said I would do a podcast, and I will do a podcast, and I'll do all the podcast things. There will be, some production values, and there will be, I'll figure out how to do it right, and then I'll do it right. But I made up my mind. I was like, nope, I need to talk to you right now. So I am. First and foremost, to say thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for 17 unbelievable years. Thank you so much for the incredible send-off. Thank you for everything. And then I needed to have this conversation to, give myself a reason to smile. So this is it. This is going to be the podcast. I've just decided right now. I hear other people put a little bit more planning and thought into these situations. Not me. Pshaw. I'm just going to turn on my phone and go. No, I've decided that what we're going to do on this podcast is we're going to talk about what's on your mind, what you're going through, what you're struggling with, what obstacles you're facing. I am not in any way, shape, or form qualified to be dispensing advice. In fact, there's a lot of situations where I'd say, look at what I did, and then do the exact opposite because I didn't get that part of life right. I've screwed up a lot. But I think that what helps, if you're facing a difficulty, a problem, something that seems insurmountable, talking about it, talking it through with a friend is what's going to help get you there. So I want to hear what's going on in your life. Hit me up and let me know. At ADSXE is where you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at ADSXE. Like I said, I am not in any way, shape, or form qualified to be dispensing advice. Hashtag not a doctor. Hashtag don't know what I'm doing 99% of the time. But I do know that when you talk things through, they become easier. When you share a problem, it becomes easier to bear. So that's what we're going to do on this podcast. I'm here with you. I'm here for you. Tell me what's on your mind. We'll talk it out. Other people listening can chime in. People can make suggestions. And whatever it is, whatever's going on, we'll get through it. We'll get through it together because that's what we've been doing for the last 17 years. We have gotten each other through. And that's what we're going to continue to do. There will be horrible dad jokes and terrible puns because those are part of what gets me through as well. Maybe not on this first episode of the podcast. This was really about telling you that I want to hear from you. I want to hear about what's going on in your life, and we're gonna talk about these things, and we're gonna keep these conversations going. So that's it. That's it. Suffice to say, I love you. And I'll be back tomorrow. We'll do this all over again. Thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you for being a part of my radio family. As always, this time that you and I spend together, it's the best part of my day every single day. Have a great one. Later.